Right now, as you listen to my voice, there's a battle happening inside your mind. A war between peace and chaos, between clarity and confusion, between the person you want to be and the mental prison you've built around yourself. Most people lose this battle every single day, and they don't even know they're fighting it. They wake up exhausted before their feet hit the floor. They carry invisible weight that gets heavier with each passing hour. They live in a mind so cluttered, so filled with noise and pain, that they've forgotten what silence feels like. But what if I told you that in the next few minutes, you could learn to win this war? What if you could wake up tomorrow with a mind as clear as mountain air, as peaceful as still water? What if the very thoughts that torture you could become the foundation of your strength? When was the last time you cleaned your mind? We scrub our homes until they sparkle. We wash our clothes, polish our cars, organize our desks. But the most important space in our entire existence, the place where we live every moment of every day, remains untouched by our attention: your mind. And if we don't clean it daily, it becomes a graveyard of broken dreams, failed relationships, harsh words that were spoken years ago, mistakes that replay on an endless loop. It becomes heavy with the weight of tomorrow's fears and yesterday's regrets. It becomes dark, cluttered, suffocating. But here's what most people don't understand. A clean mind isn't just nice to have. It's the difference between surviving and truly living. It's the difference between reacting to life and creating it. Today, I'm going to share 7 habits that will transform your mental landscape forever. 7 simple but powerful practices that will give you back your peace, your power, and your purpose. Let's begin. First, write it out. Don't carry it all inside. Let me ask you something most people never ask themselves. Where do all your thoughts go? Every day, thousands of thoughts flood your consciousness. Some lift you up, others drag you down into places so dark you can barely breathe. The things that hurt you, the dreams you're too afraid to speak, the guilt you've carried for years like stones in your pockets, the questions that keep you staring at the ceiling at 3 in the morning. The anger you pretend doesn't exist because admitting it feels too dangerous. Over time, these thoughts become mental clutter. They pile up like unopened mail, like dishes in a sink, like clothes on a chair. And your mind, this sacred space where all your dreams are born, becomes a storage unit for pain. Your mind is not a trash can. Imagine walking into a house overflowing with garbage, rotting food, dirty clothes, dust coating every surface. You couldn't relax there. You couldn't think clearly. You couldn't even breathe properly. That's what happens when you don't clean your mental space. You carry too much inside. Past betrayals, current worries, future fears, self-doubt, comparison, shame. And when there's no space left, you break. Not because you're weak, but because you've been strong for too long without rest. Writing is like emotional detox. When you pour your thoughts onto paper, something magical happens. You see your thoughts clearly instead of feeling them as a tangled mess. You feel lighter, as if you've set down a backpack full of rocks. You stop running from what's inside you and start facing it with courage. Think of it like this. Writing is taking out the emotional garbage. Every word you write is one piece of pain you release from your soul. And no, you don't need to be Shakespeare. You don't need perfect grammar or fancy vocabulary. You just need truth. Here's how to make this a sacred daily ritual. Get a simple notebook. This becomes your mental sanctuary, your safe space where judgment doesn't exist. Give it a name that speaks to your soul. My Truth Pages, Letters to Tomorrow, The Healing Book. Choose a time when the world is quiet. Early morning when the sun is just waking up. Late evening when the day's chaos settles. During lunch when you can steal a few moments of solitude. Even 5 to 10 minutes can shift your entire day from heavy to light. Let everything out without filters. Write exactly what you feel, even if it's messy, even if it's angry, even if it scares you. Start with phrases like, I feel lost because I'm tired of pretending. What I really want to say is, today was hard because... The page doesn't judge you. It doesn't offer unwanted advice. It simply receives your truth and holds it gently. If it helps, tear the page afterward. Some people find power in literally throwing their pain away, watching it transform from prison to freedom. There was a young woman named Sophia who couldn't sleep for months. Her mind was a carousel of worry that never stopped spinning. What if I fail again? Why did he leave me? Will I ever be good enough? Every night she'd cry quietly in the darkness, drowning in thoughts she couldn't escape. Then someone told her, don't carry it all inside. Let it out. She started writing for 10 minutes every night. No rules, no editing, just raw honesty flowing from her heart to the page. Slowly, something shifted. Her sleep returned like an old friend. Her heart softened. Her decisions became clearer because she'd given her pain a voice. Once the pain could speak, it stopped screaming in her mind. This habit changes everything because we live in a world that teaches us to stay busy, but your mind doesn't need more tasks. It needs space. Space to breathe, space to process, space to heal. When you write, you become your own therapist, your own best friend, your own healer. Your heart has been strong for so long, carrying everyone else's expectations, your own disappointments, the weight of dreams deferred. But it's tired. Let it speak. Let it rest. Let it begin to heal. Second, breathe out the noise. Use stillness to reset your brain. Have you ever felt like your mind is a radio stuck between stations, nothing but static and noise? Your thoughts jumping from one worry to another like a restless spirit that can't find peace? I need to finish that project. What if everything goes wrong? Why did they look at me that way? What if I'm not enough? It's exhausting living with a mind that never stops running, never stops analyzing, never stops preparing for disasters that may never come. But here's a secret that successful people have known for centuries. The fastest way to clean your mind isn't to think more. It's to stop thinking altogether, even for just a few moments. It's to breathe, to be still, to remember that you are more than your thoughts. Think about a glass of muddy water. If you keep shaking it, the water stays cloudy and chaotic. But if you set it down and let it rest, the mud settles and the water becomes crystal clear. Your mind works exactly the same way. When you're constantly busy, scrolling, working, worrying, your thoughts become muddy and heavy. But when you sit in stillness, even for 5 minutes, Clarity returns like sunrise after the darkest night. The science is beautiful and simple. When you breathe deeply and slowly, your heart rate decreases. Your stress hormones quiet down. Your brain receives more oxygen. Your nervous system remembers what safety feels like. Your overthinking slows to a whisper. It's like pressing a reset button on your entire being. Successful leaders use this practice because they understand that a calm mind makes better decisions than a chaotic one. Here's how to practice this life-changing habit. Find a quiet corner of your world. It could be your bedroom, your garden, your car before you start the engine, anywhere you can close your eyes without interruption. Sit comfortably and let your eyes drift closed. Take 3 deep breaths using what they call box breathing. Breathe in slowly for 4 seconds. Hold that breath for 4 seconds. Exhale slowly for 4 seconds, then pause for 4 seconds. Even Navy SEALs use this technique to stay calm when everything around them is chaos. Focus only on your breath. Don't think about yesterday's mistakes or tomorrow's challenges. Just feel the air entering your body like life itself, then leaving like a gentle sigh of relief. When your mind wanders, and it will, simply guide it back to your breath like a loving parent guiding a child. Say quietly to yourself, I am here. I am safe. I am enough. Visualize the cleaning happening. Imagine your mind filled with dark clouds of worry and stress. With every exhale, watch one cloud dissolve and drift away. With every inhale, picture clean, white light filling the space where darkness used to live. If sitting still feels impossible at first, try these variations. Start your morning with 5 minutes of silence before touching your phone. Let gratitude be your first thought instead of anxiety. End your day with an evening reset. Sit on your bed, breathe deeply, and consciously release the day's tension. Try walking meditation. Take a slow 5-minute walk, but leave your phone behind. Just feel your steps on the earth. Notice the sky. Let your thoughts slow down naturally, or breathe with affirmations. With each breath, speak healing words to yourself. I am releasing fear. I am choosing peace. I am safe and strong. A famous CEO once shared that he was always anxious, running from meeting to meeting, feeling like his thoughts controlled him instead of the other way around. Then he discovered breathing and stillness. Just 5 minutes every morning of deep, intentional breathing. At first it felt strange, like learning a new language. But after a week, he said it was like cleaning a dirty window. Suddenly, he could see his life clearly again. Now he makes better decisions because his mind is calm and centered instead of scattered and reactive. Without this practice, you wake up with a heavy brain. You react to everything instead of responding thoughtfully. Small problems feel like mountains. Your day controls you instead of you controlling your day. That's why this isn't a luxury. It's as necessary as brushing your teeth, but for your mind. The world is loud and chaotic, but you don't have to start your day with that chaos. You can begin with peace. Even 5 minutes of stillness can transform your entire life. A clean mind is a powerful mind, and nothing cleans your mind faster than silence and breath. Third, let go of mental garbage. Stop carrying yesterday's weight. I want you to be honest with yourself for a moment. What are you still carrying in your mind that you should have released years ago? We carry so much weight, not in our arms or on our backs, but in our thoughts. Old wounds that never properly healed, past mistakes that replay like broken records, relationships that ended but somehow never left our hearts. Words that cut deep and still echo in quiet moments. Dreams we abandoned but never properly mourned. Here's a truth that might hurt. Most people aren't tired because of what they're doing today. They're exhausted because of what they're still carrying from yesterday, last year, last decade. They're walking through life with invisible baggage, and it's slowing them down, stealing their joy, blocking their progress. Mental garbage is any thought, memory, or belief that no longer serves your growth but still occupies precious space in your mind. It's replaying arguments from 5 years ago, blaming yourself for mistakes you made when you knew less than you know now, holding on to shame for things you cannot change, wishing your childhood had been different, regretting roads not taken, keeping alive the pain someone else caused you. These thoughts are like having 100 browser tabs open in your mind. No wonder you feel slow, overwhelmed, unable to focus on what actually matters. The power of letting go isn't about forgetting or pretending pain never happened. Letting go is choosing freedom over familiar suffering. It's saying, I will not punish myself forever for being human. I accept what I cannot change. I give myself permission to heal and move forward. I deserve peace more than I deserve answers. When you truly let go of mental garbage, miracles start happening. Your sleep becomes deeper and more restful. Your focus sharpens like a blade. Laughter comes easier. You feel physically lighter. You make space for new dreams, new relationships, new possibilities. Your energy returns because you're no longer using it to maintain old pain. Here's how to practice this life-changing habit. First, identify what you're still holding. Sit in complete silence and ask yourself these hard questions. What memory still makes my chest feel tight? What mistake do I keep punishing myself for? Who am I still angry at? And how is that anger hurting me more than them? What old story do I keep telling myself about why I'm not worthy or capable? Write these things down. This becomes your release list, your roadmap to freedom. Next, speak truth over these painful thoughts. Say out loud or write in your journal, this thought no longer serves my highest good. I release it with love. I choose healing over hurting. I choose forward over backward. I choose peace over pain. You might cry when you do this. Let the tears fall. Tears are how the soul cleans itself. Forgiveness becomes essential, both for others and yourself. Holding grudges is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to get sick. Forgiving doesn't mean what they did was right. It means you're ready to be free. Say these words until they become real in your heart. I forgive myself for not knowing better then. I forgive them, not because they deserve it, but because I deserve peace. I release this pain. It no longer defines my story. You'll feel resistance at first. That's normal. Your mind has become comfortable with its familiar pain. But keep choosing freedom. Forgiveness isn't a one-time event. It's a daily decision you make until it becomes your new reality. Clean one thought at a time. Don't try to release everything at once. That's like trying to clean an entire house in 1 hour. Start with one memory, one regret, one painful thought. Take a deep breath and say, I'm finished carrying this burden. I choose lightness now. Then consciously turn your attention to something beautiful, something hopeful, something that serves your future instead of your past. There was a woman named Isabella in her 40s, successful on the outside but always carrying this heaviness in her chest. No matter what good things happened, she could never feel truly happy. During therapy, she discovered something that changed everything. She had been carrying 20 years of unprocessed pain. A father who abandoned the family, a best friend who betrayed her trust, a miscarriage she never properly grieved, a dream she gave up too easily, critical words from her mother that played on repeat in her mind. She had never cried about these things, never told anyone, never allowed herself to feel the full weight of the loss. She just collected each pain and stored it in her heart like a museum of suffering. One by one, she began the sacred work of letting go. She wrote letters she never sent. She cried tears that had been waiting years to fall. She forgave people who would never apologize. She whispered to herself, I cannot carry this anymore. I choose to be free. For the first time in 2 decades, she felt light enough to truly live instead of just survive. If you never learn to let go, you'll always feel tired even after sleeping. You'll overreact to small disappointments. You'll struggle to stay present because your mind is trapped in the past. You'll miss beautiful moments because there's no room in your heart for new joy. Letting go isn't easy, but carrying pain forever is infinitely harder. Here's a simple daily practice you can start tonight. Sit quietly for 3 to 5 minutes. Breathe slowly and deeply. Visualize a large, sturdy bag next to you. For every painful thought or memory, imagine gently placing it in the bag. When you're finished, imagine yourself lifting the bag and throwing it into a river, watching it float away forever. Whisper, I don't need to carry this anymore. I am choosing peace. Do this every night and watch your soul begin to heal and your life begin to lighten. You are not weak because you feel tired. You are tired because you've been strong for too long, carrying burdens that were never meant to be permanent. It's time to let go of the story that hurt you, the words that broke you, the fear that follows you, the person who doesn't deserve space in your thoughts. Let go of yesterday so you can finally live today. Your mind deserves peace. Your heart deserves rest. You deserve freedom. Fourth, limit the input. Stop feeding your mind junk. If your mind were a garden, what seeds have you been planting in it lately? Imagine spending your morning cleaning your room until it's perfect, fresh, and peaceful. Then you leave every door and window open, and throughout the day, strangers walk in with muddy shoes, dropping trash, spilling negativity everywhere. By evening, your sanctuary is destroyed again, not because you didn't clean it, but because you didn't protect it. Your mind works exactly the same way. Cleaning it is powerful, but protecting it is what keeps it clean. Most people consume more mental junk in one day than their great-grandparents consumed in a lifetime. Endless scrolling through social media drama, toxic news designed to trigger fear, gossip and meaningless conversations, comparison traps that steal joy, mindless videos that numb instead of nourish, angry comments from strangers, constant complaints from people who never seek solutions, music and shows that glorify destruction instead of creation. Every single piece of content is data that enters your consciousness and changes you. Just like junk food weakens your body, mental junk food weakens your spirit. It scatters your thoughts, drains your energy, creates anxiety from nothing, breeds insecurity and jealousy, fills you with anger you can't even explain, leaves you feeling empty despite being constantly entertained. Your brain absorbs everything you expose it to. Feed it inspiration, and you feel motivated to grow. Feed it knowledge, and you feel sharp and capable. Feed it positivity, and you feel peaceful and hopeful. Feed it love, and you feel worthy and warm. But feed it hatred, and you become angry. Feed it gossip, and you become bitter. Feed it fear, and you become paralyzed. Feed it comparison, and you feel inadequate. Feed it meaningless content, and you feel purposeless. Ask yourself every morning, what am I feeding my mind today? Will this make me better or bitter? Will this help me grow or keep me small? Become aware of your consumption habits. Track what you do in the first 2 hours after waking and the 2 hours before sleeping. How much time disappears into your phone? What kind of content fills your consciousness? Are you feeding your potential or starving it with distraction? Write it down. Awareness creates the possibility for change. Follow what I call the digital diet rule. You wouldn't eat 5 burgers and 10 candy bars every day because you know it would destroy your health. So why feed your mind 5 hours of mindless scrolling and endless negativity? Set boundaries like your well-being depends on it, because it does. No phone for the first 30 to 60 minutes after waking. Let your mind wake up naturally instead of immediately filling it with other people's drama. No toxic news before bed. End your day with peace, not fear. Set app time limits. Maybe 30 minutes total for social media instead of 3 hours. Unfollow accounts that make you feel worse about yourself. Clean your feed like you're cleaning your soul. Turn off notifications that interrupt your focus and steal your presence. Practice the 1 in 1 out rule. Every time you consume something mindless, balance it with something meaningful. After watching a funny video, watch 5 minutes of something motivational. After scrolling for entertainment, read 1 page of a book that challenges you to grow. After a gossip conversation, write down something you're grateful for. Balance the mental diet. Replace junk with gold. Instead of content that makes you doubt yourself, choose motivational talks that remind you of your power. Spiritual wisdom that feeds your soul. Podcasts that teach you new skills. Books that expand your perspective. Music that lifts your spirit. Silence and stillness that restore your peace. Conversations with people who inspire you to be better. There was a young woman named Aria who felt unmotivated and sad every morning, despite having a good life. When she examined her habits, she discovered something shocking. The first thing she did each day was open Instagram, immediately comparing her reality to everyone else's highlight reel. She started her day feeling inadequate instead of grateful, lacking instead of abundant. She made one simple change: no social media until after 10 in the morning. Instead, She spent the first 30 minutes reading, stretching, or writing in gratitude. Within 1 week, she felt more energetic, more peaceful, more confident. She said it was like cleaning her mind and finally finding herself again underneath all the noise. If you keep feeding junk to your mind, you'll feel scattered and overwhelmed. You'll become emotionally tired for no clear reason. Your attention span will shrink. You'll lose motivation to pursue your real goals. You'll become addicted to distraction instead of attracted to growth. Most people don't realize they're stressed, not because of their actual life, but because of what they're constantly consuming. Before you consume anything, pause and ask, is this making my mind stronger or weaker? Is this serving my highest good or just wasting my precious time? This one moment of consciousness can protect your entire day. Choose what feeds your soul. Choose what expands your mind. Choose what brings you closer to the person you want to become. You become what you repeatedly expose yourself to. Every video, every conversation, every message shapes who you are becoming. If you want peace, feed your mind peaceful content. If you want clarity, choose information that brings understanding. If you want strength, stop consuming weakness. Your attention is your most valuable currency. Don't spend it on garbage. You don't have to be perfect, but you do need to be intentional. Guard your mind like the treasure it is. Fifth, speak to yourself with love. Heal the inner voice. How do you talk to yourself when nobody else can hear? This question goes deeper than any morning routine or productivity hack. Because the truth is, you can read every self-help book, organize your life perfectly, and wake up early every day. But if the voice inside your mind is cruel, you will never know peace. Your inner voice is your constant companion, following you to work, to the mirror, to your dreams, to your future. For too many people, that voice has become their worst enemy. It whispers poisonous lies. You're not good enough. You'll fail like you always do. Nobody could truly love you. You look terrible. You always mess everything up. Why can't you be like everyone else? You'll never change, so why try? These aren't just words. They are weapons of self-destruction, and if you hear them enough, you start believing them. If you believe them, you start living them. This cruel voice wasn't born cruel. It learned to be harsh when you were criticized as a child, compared to others, rejected, bullied, or hurt by people who should have protected you. Over time, their voice became your voice. Even after they're gone, you continue their work, hurting yourself with thoughts they planted in your mind. Healing your inner voice isn't just self-improvement, it's survival. It's reclaiming your right to live free from internal terrorism. Your inner voice creates everything. Your confidence, your self-worth, your courage, your energy, your future. The way you speak to yourself every single day shapes the way your entire life unfolds. Speak with cruelty, and you live with heaviness. Speak with love, and you live with peace. This is why this habit isn't just helpful, it's life-saving. Stand in front of a mirror for 1 full minute. Look directly into your own eyes, not at your hair or your body, but into your eyes where your soul lives. It might feel uncomfortable because you've been avoiding yourself, but this is where healing begins. Ask yourself, what do I say to this person looking back at me? Do I treat them with love or with judgment? Do I speak to them the way I would speak to my best friend or my worst enemy? Change the language you use with yourself. When your mind says, "I'm so stupid," replace it with, "I made a mistake, but I'm learning and growing." When it says, "I'm too lazy," say instead, "Today wasn't my best effort, but tomorrow is a new opportunity." When it whispers, "Nobody cares about me," respond with, "I'm learning to love myself, and I attract people who see my true value." When it attacks with, "I hate how I look," defend yourself with, "I am so much more than my appearance. I am a soul with infinite worth and purpose." It might feel fake at first, that's completely normal. But repetition creates reality. What you say often becomes what you believe. What you believe becomes how you live. Create a self-love script. 3 to 5 healing sentences you want to speak over yourself every morning. I am worthy of love, especially on my hardest days. I trust myself more with each passing day. I release the need for perfection and choose progress. I forgive myself for what I didn't know before. I speak to myself like someone I deeply treasure. Say these words while looking in the mirror. Write them in your journal. Speak them while walking or lying in bed. Repeat them until they stop feeling foreign and start feeling like home. Practice this, especially on your worst days, when you feel broken, when you fail, when you feel unlovable. Those are the moments this habit matters most. Don't abandon yourself when you're struggling. That's when your voice must become your shelter. Say to yourself, "I'm not okay right now, but I still love and accept myself. I may have failed today, but I am not a failure. I feel lost right now, but I haven't given up on me. I am learning, I am growing, I am becoming." This is how you become your own healer instead of your own destroyer. Try this powerful practice. Close your eyes and picture yourself at 7 years old, small, innocent, and vulnerable. What would you say to that child? Would you tell them they're worthless, that they'll never be enough, that they should be ashamed? Of course not. You would hug them tenderly. You would say, "It's okay, sweetheart. I'm here with you. You're safe. You're loved. I believe in you completely." Now realize that child still lives inside you, and they're still listening to every word you say. Speak to them with the love they've always deserved. There was a man named Gabriel who looked successful from the outside. Good career, nice home, confident smile. But inside, he was drowning in self-hatred. Every time he looked in the mirror, he heard, "You're a fraud. You're pathetic. You'll never be enough, no matter what you achieve." Nobody knew how broken he felt behind his mask. His therapist told him, "You don't need to become someone entirely new. You just need to stop being your own worst enemy." So Gabriel started this simple but revolutionary habit. Every morning he stood before his mirror and said, "I forgive you for your mistakes. I still believe in your potential. We're not giving up on this beautiful life." Day by day, word by word, his inner voice began to soften. His energy shifted from dark to light. He started smiling from the inside out, not just for show. That's the miraculous power of speaking to yourself with love instead of cruelty. Without healing your inner voice, you lose confidence before you even try. You sabotage good opportunities because you don't believe you deserve them. You become afraid to take risks or chase dreams. You never feel satisfied no matter what you accomplish. You stay in toxic situations because you don't think you deserve better. You live in fear even when life is going well, because the enemy lives inside your own mind. You will spend your entire life with your inner voice. Make it a voice worth living with. Speak to yourself with the same compassion you wish the world had shown you. You are not broken beyond repair. You are becoming something beautiful, and becoming takes time, patience, and love. The next time you look in the mirror, say these words with your whole heart. I am enough exactly as I am. I am healing more each day. I am growing into something magnificent. I love who I am becoming. Let this loving voice clean your mind like nothing else ever could. Sixth, create a mental reset ritual. Pause before you break. It's not the stress itself that destroys your peace. It's how long you allow it to accumulate before you address it. Your mind, like any powerful device, needs something most people forget to give it: a reset. Even the strongest souls get overwhelmed. Even the calmest people reach their breaking point. Even the most positive hearts feel exhausted sometimes. What separates those who thrive from those who merely survive is their ability to pause and reset before they completely break down. Your mind is like a glass slowly filling with water. Every small stress adds another drop. Morning traffic, drop. Harsh words from someone you care about, another drop. Endless notifications demanding your attention, more drops. Unfinished tasks, self-doubt, comparison, overthinking, drip, drip, drip. Before you realize what's happening, the glass is completely full. Then something tiny happens. Someone forgets to say thank you, and the water overflows. You snap at someone you love, you break down crying, you shut down completely. Not because of that one small thing, but because your mind was already overflowing with accumulated stress. Creating a mental reset ritual isn't just helpful. It's essential for emotional survival in this overwhelming world. Without daily resets, you start each new day carrying yesterday's unprocessed emotions. You lose patience over nothing. You say things you don't mean and immediately regret. You feel overwhelmed by situations you could normally handle. You get trapped in reaction mode, always chasing peace but never catching it. You pile up stress like dirty laundry until one day the smell of accumulated pain becomes unbearable. A mental reset ritual is a sacred practice you do every day to slow down your racing thoughts, process your emotions instead of stuffing them, release physical and mental tension, recharge your depleted energy, clear your cluttered mental space. Think of it as giving your brain permission to breathe deeply after holding its breath all day. It doesn't need to be complicated, but it absolutely needs to be intentional. Choose a specific time and honor it religiously. Pick a moment when your mind typically feels tired, anxious, or overloaded. Right after work, when the day's demands finally quiet down. During lunch, when you can steal a few precious minutes of solitude. 30 minutes before sleep when you need to transition from chaos to calm. After difficult conversations when your emotions are running high. First thing in the morning when you want to start fresh instead of frazzled. Set a daily reminder that says, "This is my mental reset time. Nothing is more important than this moment of restoration." Pick your reset method based on what your soul craves most. Close your eyes and breathe deeply for 3 minutes. Inhale slowly, imagining peace entering your body. Exhale even slower, releasing all tension and worry. Say silently, "I am calm, I am safe, I am exactly where I need to be." Take a mindful walk without your phone. Even 10 minutes in fresh air or sunlight can reset your entire nervous system and remind you there's a world beyond your worries. Write your stress onto paper in one honest sentence. Right now, I'm feeling overwhelmed because... Name the emotion, feel it fully, then consciously release it. Sit in complete silence while sipping tea or water. No phone, no conversation, no distractions. Just you, your breath, and this moment of stillness. Stretch your body gently. Movement releases mental pressure that gets trapped in your muscles and mind. Play peaceful music and allow yourself to do absolutely nothing. Let the sound wash over you like healing water. No guilt about being unproductive, just presence. During your ritual, release everything without judgment. Don't try to fix every problem or analyze every emotion. Simply allow yourself to feel whatever is present, and then let it pass like clouds in the sky. Say to yourself, "I don't have to solve everything right now. I don't have to carry this tension in my body. I'm not broken, just tired. And that's completely okay. I give myself permission to rest and reset." This isn't about productivity or optimization. This is about mental hygiene and emotional survival. End each ritual with a mental reset affirmation. Speak one of these truths over yourself. I release today completely. Tomorrow holds new possibilities. I give myself permission to feel peace right now exactly as I am. This present moment is enough. I did my best with what I had today, and that is enough. I reset my mind. I restore my spirit. I rise with renewed strength. This final step reminds your subconscious that you are in control of your mental state, not your circumstances. There was a young woman named Celestine who used to have emotional breakdowns almost weekly. She appeared strong and capable to everyone around her, but inside she was constantly crumbling. Why? Because she never paused to process anything. Always working, always responding to everyone else's needs, always fixing everyone else's problems, never checking in with her own overwhelmed soul. Her therapist asked a simple question that changed everything. When do you rest? Not your body, but your mind. Celestine couldn't answer because she never had. Your mind is not a machine designed to run constantly without rest. It's your sanctuary, your creative space, your spiritual home. Keep it clean, keep it calm, keep it protected. The reset button exists within you. Use it daily and watch your life transform from chaotic to peaceful, from reactive to responsive, from surviving to truly thriving. Seventh, Protect your mental energy like it's gold. If someone tried to steal your money, you would fight to protect it without hesitation. But what if I told you that someone is stealing something far more valuable from you every single day, and you don't even notice it happening? They're stealing your mental energy, hijacking your focus, and robbing your peace. Not because you're weak or careless, but because you were never taught that your mental energy is the most precious resource you possess. If you don't learn to protect it fiercely, you will wake up tired before